So what we're going to split these logs with is this splitting maul, and hopefully it won't be too hard to do. You lay these out just right, you kind of read them. Yeah, they won't split too bad. A lot of times if you look there, there's already a crack, and you can kind of use that as a guideline to do that with, and save yourself a lot of pain if you do it right. I'm gonna hit it hopefully right in the center. Maybe after 2 licks it'll split. 1. Oh, I heard it crack. There we go. Split it. Well, we got this one so big it's gonna take probably 5 or 6 pieces off of it. We're going to continue to do this until we get all those splits loaded in the back of the drain. And after slinging this splitting maul for about 2 hours, you'll feel it tomorrow. I like having them in smaller pieces, burn better, I believe. But not pieces will carry it far longer. Thought I heard a car door over there. You can see it doesn't take a whole lot to split them. The majority of the work is probably cutting a tree down and cutting it up. But after you retire, you can do this without hurting. There we go. That's one of, oh gosh, probably 30, and I've got too much clothes on, I can see right now. I've got 2 boggins on, and I got this around my neck, which I don't really need. I'll set it off over there on the mule, and I'll go for number 2. If you'll notice, I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but this one looks like a limb that had started to come out on the tree. So what that'll do, probably make it a little bit more difficult to split. And I'm trying to read if there's any already crack in that. And this tree was kind of doty. It was actually hollow down the center of it. Let me show you. This tree was a good looking tree if you just looked at it out in the woods. But when I went to cut it down, that's what I found. And so obviously it wasn't anything to make a log out of. And even on the center of these, it's kind of, I call it doty. It's soft right there in the center. So this tree was not a healthy tree. It looked good on the outside, but in reality it probably wasn't. I'm gonna turn this around and do some more. Okay, we read that one. There's nothing really to go by. I'm just gonna try to concentrate on hitting the center of that. Oh, it's soft. And it crushed or broke. Okay, as I said earlier, this one had a limb coming out of it. If you can see it or not, but right here is this limb that's coming out here. So that made it split a little bit more difficult, but had this been a good solid tree, it wouldn't split that easy right there. Locate them and get them. This is the other half of it. Get good sound when they do that. Like hitting a bass drum. This is just one of several trees that I've cleaned up out here. Haven't cut any good trees. They've all been trees that's been blown down from that storm. I think the storm was back during the, might have been the fall, early fall. It came through this area, not just here in Norwood, but gosh, Kabul, Mountain Grove, Norwood. It was a unexpected event, obviously, but super high winds blew the roof off the post office and done lots of damage all over. But most of it was straight line winds. Wasn't a tornado. Okay, catch my breath. I'm gonna do maybe a couple of more and probably have to shed some clothes. That was a crooked hit. That was a good one. Okay. Getting there little by little. Whew. You look, there's starting to be a pretty good little pile of wood here. And this is, it'll burn good. Sometimes I split it in smaller pieces. I don't know why, but it doesn't go any further, I don't believe. It's easier to handle. Uh-oh. Now that one, I believe, caught a limb that was starting to come out. Yeah, it did. I'll show you. There was a limb right here. That was a limb that was in the tree that was when it was little, was coming out, and that made it difficult to split for that one portion. But that was just a couple more licks. We'll do one more, and we'll call it quits for now. This tree, like I said, was over there about 10 feet, and it was hollow on the inside, and it had broken off about 10 feet up in the air, and the remainder of it had hung in this other tree. So I brought the tractor out, and I hooked onto the part that had broke loose. The tractor wouldn't budge it, so I had to cut the bottom section of it while I was pulling the tractor to get it pulled down out of that tree. That was pretty dangerous. And that's the reason I'm concerned about those three over there that are leaning up against some other trees. I'm not sure of a safe way to get them down. Obviously, if I had a big tractor or something, I could pull them and be away from them when they come down, because they're gonna break some limbs out of those other trees. Who knows where they'll go.